Good morning, or hi, this is Kim with the Forever in Motion team. So I'm here this morning to do your live Forever in Motion class. So I'll just give a few seconds to see if anybody pops on live. You guys know that we do these classes live, and then they are available recorded here for any time that you want to. So today, good morning, Penny. Thanks for joining. So today is February 22nd of 2022. So that's a lot of twos, right? So if you go 2202 2022, I looked this up and it's called a palindrome and an ambigram. So today's date reads the same left to right, right to left, and upside to up and down. So if you go 2202 and then you go 2022, they're like the mirror image of each other, upside, up, down. So that being said, today's class, we're gonna hopefully do it in 22 minutes. That's my plan. So we are going to do 2 circuits with 2 exercises in each circuit. So it's gonna be a quick one. I'm gonna actually set a timer on my watch for 22 minutes and we're gonna hopefully get it all in. Kind of fun to celebrate this kind of special day because we'll never see a cool day with the numbers like this again in our lifetime. So I thought, let's do something fun to kind of commemorate that and to celebrate that. So we do not need any equipment but a chair. That's all you're gonna need this morning is a chair, and you can see my water bottle right there. So there will be breaks for water, and the first circuit is going to be standing. Actually, both circuits are gonna be standing. So that's why I have my chair to the side. I'll be showing you the moves from the side, but as you all know, I would prefer it if you stood behind your chair just for more support. I just stand to the side so you can see me, my body, and what movements I am doing. So that being said, I'll stand up. I'm going to turn my timer on for those 22 minutes and then we'll get started. So here we go. Now, let me get this timer going, and you all know, here we go. Let's start with the march. You all know that if you can't hear me, or maybe I'm talking too fast, or you have some other comment that you would like to make, feel free to put that in the comment section. It does come up on the bottom of my screen so I can see it as we are going through the class. So chair is here. You can have your hand on if you're behind your chair and you want to hang on with both hands, there it is. If you're not holding on at all, let's just get those legs moving, that upper body movement, doing those swings with those arms. Good, let's roll those shoulders back and down. Take some nice deep breaths while we're here. Get our bodies nice and warmed up. There's some beautiful sunshine outside today. I imagine it's probably still cold, but at least the sun is shining quite nicely in the windows and kind of gives us hope that spring is on its way. All right, now let's move from this march to a step touch. So step, touch, step, touch. Just an easy warm up to start. Gonna have those hands go into the opposite side. Having that beautiful posture as we're here, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Having that core engaged to support that back. Shoulders are back and down, looking straight ahead at the horizon. Good. Now this is just the warm up, so you can choose to go the same pace that I'm going. If you would like to go slower, if that's more comfortable for you, you're welcome to do that. Or if you would like to go faster, feel free to do that as well. Good. And we'll do 4, 3, 2, and let's march it out. Okay, taking it back to that march. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of hip extension. So we're gonna bring our knees up. So if I turn to the side, this is what it looks like. I still have that beautiful upright posture. Just bringing that knee up to hip height if you can, or as close to that hip height as is comfortable for you. Just trying to get those hips all warmed up, Get those quads, the front of your thighs warmed up, because we're gonna use them. Good. Here we go. Having that beautiful posture. Watch that lower back. It's really easy to bend when you do this, but I want you to maintain that upright posture and have your legs do the work of bringing that knee up. Knee ups, that's what we'll call them. That works. Good. The technical term is hip flexion, but we'll call them knee ups. All right, we'll do 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, take it back to that march. Hopefully those legs are starting to feel warm. We're gonna try to warm up the back of our legs now. Facing that chair, we're going to do hamstring curls. So that knee is pointing straight down, that heel is coming up towards the bum. Here we go. Good. Yes. Again, you can go faster or slower, whichever one works for you. Making sure that that kneecap is still pointing straight down. Don't let it come up. It's this movement. Heel is coming up towards the bum, knee stays straight down. Good, and 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, let's march it out. Roll those shoulders back and down. I hope those legs are feeling warm. That was our warm up. Grab a drink of water and we'll move right into our first circuit. Okay. The first circuit has 2 moves in it. So it's going to be squats. So we're going to do 10 squats and then we're going to do lunges. Now I have not taught lunges before, so the first time in this format, I have not taught lunges before. So I will go through the format very thoroughly when the first one that we do. So let's start with squats. I think everyone knows the squat. So facing that chair, feet are hip distance apart, shoulders are back and down, core is engaged, hands can be on the chair or straight in front, it's up to you. Keeping those eyes on the horizon. You're gonna sit that bum back like you're reaching back for a chair. And then you're gonna push up to standing. And down, and up. Now, this is a squat? Absolutely. This is a squat? Absolutely. So figure out the depth of the squat that you would like to have. The depth of the squat is not as important as the form. So you're reaching that bum back. Those knees stay behind the toes, okay? Chest and head stay up. I don't know how many we've done. I'm going with 7. 8, 2 more, 9, and last one, down and up. All right, those were our squats. Now lunges. I want you to come facing the side of your chair. One leg is gonna come forward. I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see. Other leg is gonna come back. Now I've reached far enough back with that foot that I can't put that heel down. Now what I'm going to do is maintaining my upright posture. My shoulders stay stacked over top of my hips, looking forward. The chair is here. I'm going to drop that back knee so the back knee bends. Now my front knee doesn't come forward. It stays as much in line with that ankle as it can, and then I'm just going to raise up. So bend down and straighten those legs. Good. 3, we're only going to do 5 per side. We got 2 more on this side. 4, and last one, down and up. So switch sides. Other foot comes forward. Other one is coming far enough back that you can't put that heel down. Shoulders stay stacked over those hips, looking forward. Shoulders are back and down, eyes are on the horizon. You're going to lower that back leg. You don't have to come all the way to this 90. Even just taking a little bit is okay. So this front foot, your pressure is all the way through that foot, not just in the heel. And one more, down and up. All right, shake those legs out. That was our first set. Grab a drink of water. So really important on those lunges is to keep that front knee and ankle in line. If you're finding that your knee is coming over top of your toe, chances are you need to step farther back with that opposite foot so that you are creating enough space for your body to kind of just go straight down and up. It's kind of like that elevator thing, right? You're just going straight down and up. Okay, you guys ready to do it again? Okay, here we go. So our second time, we're gonna start with those squats. So feet are at least hip distance apart. Some people like them wider. Toes can be a little bit pointed out or going straight. It depends how your hips are made and what's comfortable for you. Chest and head stay up. Looking straight on onto that horizon. Here we go, sit that bum back. And up. Perfect. Now, the majority of your weight on a squat is going to be in your heels, but you also have to make sure that your toes aren't popping up. You want to be able to push all the way down through those feet and make sure that those knees aren't caving in. So make sure that those knees stay in line with your toes. Some people will do this. We don't want that. We want to be able to push those knees out to make sure that they're staying in line. Hopefully that makes sense. Down and up. How many have we done? 7? Sounds good to me. 8. Good. Choose the depth of your squat based on how your legs and hips are feeling today. 1 more. Down and up. Okay, shake that out. We're gonna go back to those lunges. Hopefully those lunges felt good and you don't have, if you have questions about lunges, feel free to put it in the comments and we'll answer, or you can send us a private message as well. Okay, so that front foot is flat. My back foot is far enough back that I can't put that heel down. Keeping this knee and this ankle in line. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. Gaze is on the horizon. Hands are on that chair. You're just gonna lower that back knee down and up. Down and up. Good. Down and up. 2 more. Down. Up. Last one. Down and up. Okay, switch to the other side. Chances are you went to your good side first. Am I right? All right, so back leg. Toe is down, but heel is up. Shoulders are stacked over those hips. Gaze is on the horizon, core is tight. Here we go, down and up. Now, the distance I have between my feet, the more distance I have in between them, the better my balance is gonna be. It's harder if it's like this, way harder. So if you're struggling a little bit with your balance, just step a little bit wider for that lunge. Let's do 2 more. I haven't been counting, sorry. Last one, down and up. All right, that's our first circuit done. Okay, this one's quick and easy. So our second circuit, let's grab a drink. So our second circuit is gonna be for our hips. And so we're gonna do hip extension and hip abduction. We've done these ones a lot in class. They're really important functional moves for us to be able to maintain our independence as long as possible and keep those hips moving as well as they possibly can. So let's start with a hip extension. So come into that chair again. So hands are at the chair. We're maintaining that beautiful posture. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, all the way down. Hands are here. We're alternating one side and then the other. Looking straight ahead, we're just going to extend that foot back. You see that my legs stay straight, my foot is flexed, and then I come back. Other side, back and down. Watch that lower back. Make sure that you aren't arching. It's not a huge move. It doesn't have to be a huge move. You should feel the work in your glutes on this one. So if you put your hand right on your glutes, you should feel them engaging as they're working. Good, alternating side to side, making sure that that back is tight. If you're arching your back to get it done, you're putting that foot back too far. It doesn't have to be a huge move. Maintaining that upright posture, we're not hinging forward, it's just straight back. Good, alternating one side and then the other. You should be able to feel this work in those glutes. Let's do 2 more. I haven't been counting, you guys know this. 1 more each side, back, another one. All right, shake that out. Our next one is hip abduction. So abduction is when you're moving away from the midline of your body. So we're gonna alternate one side and then the other. I'm gonna stay forward so you can see my feet, but you all should be facing your chairs. So starting here, foot is facing forward. We're just gonna bring it out to the side, maintaining that upright posture and bringing it back into the middle. Other side out and down. You're gonna feel the work, the side of your hip. That's where you should feel this. Make sure that that toe is pointing straight forward. It's almost like you're leading with the heel. Those legs aren't locked out, but they are straight. That posture is completely upright. If you are feeling this work on the inside of your thigh, then you need to have that foot pointing, even more forward, because the side of your hips up top here at the top of your thighs is where you should feel this work. Beautiful upright posture. Make sure that you're reaching for the sky with the top of that head so that your lower back isn't scrunching up. Good. 2 more on each side. And 1 more. Good, give those legs a shake. All right, grab a drink of water and then we got 1 more set before we're done. We got 7 minutes left, so we're looking good for our 22 minutes in this morning. So let's start with that hip extension. So facing that chair, shoulders are back and down, gaze is on the horizon, beautiful upright posture, alternating legs. Legs stay straight, just reaching back with that heel, one and then the other. Good. Yes. Okay. So again, looking straight at the horizon. Sorry, I was looking at my feet there, and that's not where your gaze should be. We got 5. We're halfway through here. Again, you're engaging through those glutes, making sure that that core is engaged so you're not arching through that back to get it done. Good. If you want to challenge your balance, you can let go of that chair. Otherwise, if you need it, you can have 2 hands on that chair, 1 hand on that chair, or just hovering above. I think I've been counting right, and I think we got 1 left on each side. Good job. Okay, give those legs a shake. We're going with that hip abduction now. So those legs going out to the side. Facing that chair. This is what it looks like facing that chair. Shoulders are back and down, core is engaged. Here we go. To the side and down other side. Now I'm going to face forward. You all keep facing your chairs. Yes, not rocking side to side. Lots of people will do this. We don't want that. We want that upright posture. Leading almost with that heel. So that toe is pointing at least straight forward. Slight bend in your knee just feels better for those joints. Again, holding on with both of those hands to that chair or just one is up to you. If you want to challenge your balance, that chair is there. You can hover those hands over top. You're going to notice that one side is better than the other for balance. Good, and you're feeling this here. Yes? I hope so. All right, I think this is 8. I'm going with 8. 1 more on each side. I think one more. I don't know if we've done 11. I guess we've done 11. And last side. Okay, shake those legs out. Good work, everyone. Grab a drink of water. So that's the end of our work for today's class. We will stretch before we're done. Grab a drink of water. And I'm going to move my chair so that we can sit down on that chair for our stretching. All right, so we are going to start with one leg extended out in front of us. Now there's a slight bend to that knee, or it's straight but not locked out. Now we're going to start with a calf stretch in this position. So all I want you to do is bring your toe towards your shin until you feel the stretch in the calf. So bring it as much as you can back towards that shin. Give that calf a nice little stretch. We'll hold it for one more breath. Good, now release that. Keep that leg straight, having that beautiful posture. Hands go on your hips, and then I just want you to hinge forward at the hip until you feel the stretch in your hamstring, which is the back of your thigh, and you might even feel it in the back of your knee. So keeping that chest and that head up, hinging forward at those hips, not bending at that back to get this done. Good, and let's switch to the other side. So other leg out, heel is down. Bring it, again, we're gonna start with that calf stretch. So bring in that toe towards your shin as much as you can until you feel that stretch in your calf. So the only thing that's moving is that toe is moving towards your shin. Otherwise, we're just sitting up. Good, now relax that toe. Hands go on those hips. We're just hinging forward at that hip until we feel the stretch in the back of that thigh and maybe even the back of that knee. One more breath here. Good. Now we're going to do a stretch for our quad and our hip flexor. So I want you to turn to the side of your chair. Holding onto your chair. One cheek is on the chair and one cheek is off. The foot with the cheek that is off is going to walk back until your knee is at least directly below that hip, or farther back if that works for you. Now sitting up with that beautiful posture, looking straight ahead, imagine that if you had a tail, you were going to tuck it. Pelvic tilt, and you should feel the stretch in the front of your hip flexor and also in your thigh, the front of your thigh, your quadricep muscles. Now take a few breaths here. Some people will get a cramp in the back of their thigh on this. If that happens, you're just going to bring that leg forward and stretch it out. But if you're not feeling any cramps, we're just going to hold it here for one more breath. And release that, and let's go to the other side. So turn and face the other way. One cheek is on, one cheek is off. Walking that foot back until at least that knee is directly below the hip. Some people need to go back farther to feel this. Now imagine that if you had a tail, you were going to tuck it. And that should really increase the stretch here in your hip flexor, but also in that quadricep. Looking forward. Now you all know that a stretch should feel really nice. If it starts to hurt or if it starts to pull so much that it's causing you pain, you can back off a little bit. You see, I just kind of relaxed my thigh there. There, if it starts to feel like it's too much, that's all you need to do. All right, one more breath here. Good, and let's come back to the middle. Sitting about the middle of your chair, we're gonna take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. And one more time in and blow it out. All right, so my timer says we have 15 seconds left in our 22 minutes, so we did it. Yes. All right, so that's the end of today's class. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me for this fun 22-minute class to commemorate the 22nd of February, 2022. As usual, if you guys have any feedback or questions or comments, feel free to leave them here. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.